from Hartford, Springfield, and north to Vermont. In the mid-19th century, this was America's Silicon Valley. Better known then and now as Precision Valley, with its roots here in Windsor, Vermont. And the Robinson Lawrence Armory, pioneers in the machine tool industry, and now home to the American Precision Museum.
The American Precision Museum, in my opinion, holds the best collection of early machine tools, surely in the United States, if not the world. It is better than what exists at the Smithsonian. The founder of the museum was a man who had worked at the Smithsonian, Edwin Battison. Over a 25 or 30-year period, he built up this wonderful collection in Windsor. I don't know that anyone else could have done that. It's just an amazing collection.
The Precision Museum is a reflection of the start of the machine tool industry, not only for this area, but for New England and the whole country. One of the key values of the collection here in the museum, it has a number of the machinery that was invented for the processing of interchangeable parts. So the processes and the machinery that were that started mass production are shown here.
The museum building itself is a National Historic Landmark, a classic example of mid-19th century manufacturing. Water-powered belt systems, generous window light, multiple stories for different processes.
Robinson Lawrence was founded in the early 1840s. At the time it was founded, it was one of the best practiced companies for applying machinery to the manufacture of firearms with interchangeable parts. In 1851, at the London Crystal Palace exhibition, Robinson Lawrence actually won a prize for the exhibition of 6 rifles that were made with interchangeable parts. That caught the attention of the British, who actually formed a special committee that came over to the United States. The main focus of their investigations was the Connecticut River Valley, and especially Robinson Lawrence. What was new and innovative to them was this new arms technology, which they referred to as the American system of manufacturing. And they eventually ended up buying over $106,000 worth of machinery that was used to retool the Enfield Armory, the main British armory in England, right before the Civil War.
This machine illustrates the concept of copying a master part. One of the things that truly interchangeable parts manufacturing results in is parts that have the quality machined into them, so you don't need to inspect and weed out the bad part. In a way, these people anticipated Edwards Deming by 100 years. He preached, you should not inspect quality into parts, you should manufacture quality into parts. If there's a complicated form that you want to produce, instead of having a person operating a machine and sort of incrementally move along that contour, you spend the money up front and make one cutting tool that has the complete form on it. And then every time you present that cutting tool to a workpiece, the workpiece will receive that contour perfectly.
What happened at Robinson Lawrence and throughout the Connecticut River Valley really helps to account for the democratization of America. Because in this little factory and other factories like it that were spread up and down this valley developed the new technologies that were capable of not just making guns, but were capable of making sewing machines and typewriters and bicycles and automobiles. You just go down the line about the types of technologies that this gun-making technology was used for in later years, and you understand how our consumer society came about.
Interchangeable parts technology revolutionized how things were made. Instead of making things one by hand, you could make lots of parts and you could make lots of things, which really transformed our society as we know it. Created consumer society where products composed of many parts ultimately became mass-produced and became affordable. Ed Battison is our museum's founder. In 1966, he saved the Robinson Lawrence Armory from demolition and formed the American Precision Museum. When people come to visit, they will learn the story of interchangeable parts manufacturing and how it led through gun making to the development of the world as we know it today. Our educational program is a really important aspect of the museum's work. When groups come to the museum, they see firsthand through our demonstrations how machines work. We have a traveling education kit about the Industrial Revolution in northern New England, and that's a wonderful preparation tool. So when groups come on a visit to the museum and they see the demonstrations and they can explore our building and see how it is a typical example of a New England factory site, it all begins to make sense.
And this was the beginning of, the machine tool industry here in Precision Valley. And I think it's evolved not only throughout the United States, but throughout the world.
This is certainly one of the important snapshots of American ingenuity.
The American Precision Museum offers the story of change. Changes in manufacturing, changes in technology and processes that in turn led to profound changes in people's lives.
The museum has a wonderful exhibit of our lineage or our history, showing how things were done and how things have evolved over the years. I think it's important that we in the industry give back to the industry. We can do it by visiting the museum's website. And we highly encourage people to come in and view the exhibits that continually change.
We need to know about what made this country great. And a lot of it has to do with what happened in that museum around these machines. I know these machines may look alien to some people, but in fact, they are the things that make America. They literally make America.
The American Precision Museum in Windsor, Vermont. Come visit us or view us online at americanprecision.org.